Welcome back everyone, and for today's video will be a very casually filmed anime manga haul. I have a special guest. My Pikachu Diner Pikachu arrived. This was a very limited release from the Pokemon Center in Japan, and it actually released in the US Pokemon Center as well not too long ago. When I unfortunately saw it late when it dropped. It didn't have a set time, but thankfully I was able to get the main one I wanted, which is this chunky Pikachu. Chunky Pikachu is my favorite type of Pikachu. I do not like how they morphed him into a leaner shape. He was always cuter to me as this kind of round, chunky shape. So I think this one is so cute. The embroidery is really well done, and it's not the black. It's kind of dark blue. He's got the dollop of cream and a heart-shaped cherry and the heart in the front. And the little apron that is actually sewn into him so you don't lose it. Super cute. There were some other items part of the collection, but I think the US Pokemon Center only really got the plushies. They didn't get like the apron or anything like that. There was a little hamburger one that I really wanted, but just like the Japanese one, he unfortunately sold out before I could get him. But I'm at least happy to have gotten him. He is so cute. A bit pricey at $40, but for a chunky Pikachu that they don't really sell anymore, I think that was totally worth it. So he's going to hang out in the background while I do this haul. I have quite a few things. I just got back from a short trip with friends. Majority of this was bought at Half Price Books in Houston. We went to multiple locations to kind of scope out what they had, and we found some good stuff. So I'm going to start with the manga, and then I'll get to the anime. So this right stack I actually got in the Half Price Books near me. I found I Hear the Sunspot, Limit, as well as I think majority of the other sets. So I've mentioned in previous manga hauls, I ended up picking up Limit 1, Volume 1, and then it turns out that wasn't the first volume in this series. I didn't know that, but I think I got majority of it. I found Volume 3 for Limit. I have Volume 2 that I picked up not too long ago. I think this one's the first one. Then 3 for Limit. This is Theory of Happiness. And then Volume 1 and 2 of 4 Seasons, which looks like the final one since they're adults. So that's really cool. Very convenient that I was able to find all of them just so I could read the whole thing at once, and that it'll be very convenient for me to sell back as well if I don't care enough about the series to keep it. But very happy to have found that. And again, this is a BL series. I don't think it's like R18 or anything. It's just kind of a sweet story about two boys figuring out they like each other in high school and onward. And then this stack is everything that I purchased while on the trip. So we'll start with the first two. I was able to find the Apothecary Diaries Volume 1 and 2 of the manga. Jinji looks so majestic in the back. I love the anime. Normally, if I've already seen the anime, unless I really care about it, I don't care to have the manga because I've already seen whatever content is in here. If they had later volumes, I might have been a little more excited. But I just really wanted to have something because I don't really have any Apothecary Diaries merch, and I love the series. And also, I just wanted to see and compare if there was anything missed from the manga in the anime. But love these. Love that I was able to pick those up. I found something called Tokyo Aliens by Noe. I think this really sounded like a typical shonen. I mainly picked it up because I like the artwork. It's kind of classic. The characters look really cute. And there's some comedy bits which I like. It's not super serious. The main character seems to be a hoot, so yeah, I just picked that up to have something to read. Something new, which is nice to have every now and again. I got really excited about this. Vampire Kisses, $5. This is the manga adaptation of the Vampire Kisses young adult novels, which my friend introduced me to when I was a teenager. But I think I mainly read this first. I think I read the manga first because I found it at the library. This is volume 3, and the main reason I picked this up is because I really liked the fashion in it. And I think the artist that did this had some pages in the back of each volume, not this one, where they kind of went over some of the sketches that they initially had drawn for the outfits, especially for the main character Raven, because she is goth, and every single volume she changes, or every scene really she's in, her outfit changes, and it's really cool. So yeah, I'm a fan of the art style, so happy to have this. I think I'm gonna have to look for volume 1 and 2. I thought I had found it in the last half price books we went to, but it turned out to be in a different language, so I'll be on the lookout for that. Then I was very excited for this. I found Aaron's Absurd Armada, which I do already own, but it's an ex-library copy. I got it fairly cheap for 50 cents, so it's not a big deal, but to have found it on sale for $5 in very pristine condition, I went ahead and picked it up, and this will be replacing my current copy. This is a manhwa. I think it's the first manga I ever read by Yen Press. The author is Misun Kim. This pretty much introduced me to the fact that there were Korean webcomics online as well. It's a comedy, comic style, very funny, about a bunch of, mainly the captain is just a wacky pirate, and then all of his shenanigans with his crew. Very funny and enjoyable. I found volume 2 and 3 of My Boy. I haven't finished volume 1, but I'm excited to get to read volume 2 and 3 and continue the story. This was the kind of found family series that I found a while back, the summary of which sounded like it was a salary woman takes care of a troubled teenage boy. It sounded sad, but I was really interested, and it's by Hitomi Takano, published by, I have no idea. Who is that? They blocked the publisher. Oh well. Then this one was very interesting. It's called Black Knight Parade by Hikaru Nakamura. Who published this? Seven Seas. Basically, the summary said the main character encounters a dark Santa Claus, which sounds like Krampus, but he actually dresses like Santa Claus, who handles the naughty children. And that premise was so ridiculous, I just went ahead and got it because I was very interested in that story idea. So I'm excited to read this. It sounded fun. Then I found Mama Akuma. I have volume 1 of this, which I have not read. It's been a while since I bought it, or someone bought it for me. I'm terrible. I'm planning to read through everything I haven't read on my shelf so I can kind of clear out a lot of it, because obviously this is a lot to put on my shelves. But yeah, I was excited to at least find volume 2 so that I can continue the series. This is by Kuzushiro. I don't know who published this. Oh, Yen Press. But it's a demon taking care of a child, human child, pretty much. And it's a comedy, so very fun. Then I found this, Killer Shark in Another World. I love sharks, and this sounded so ridiculous that I picked it up because it sounded funny. The art is just really good too. It sounds like a magical girl, but I think in the back they described her as an idol. Oh, she's a summoner. Okay. And her power is to summon the sharks in famous movies. So like Bruce and Jaws and stuff like that. Very stupid, comical, hilarious. Excited to read that. All right. And that's the last of the manga. Quite the stack. Look at that. My poor shelves. But I'll move on to the Blu-rays and anime. And I say that because a lot of the Blu-rays that I picked up at half price during the trip are primarily Disney movies. I'll go through them really quickly because this is, I don't really show stuff like this all the time. I got Prince of Egypt. I did double check and I don't have this. I thought I did, but I bought it anyway just in case. Hocus Pocus. I realized once I got home the case was broken, but I'm hoping when I go thrifting I can just find a case to replace it with. This was $2. Ice Age 1. That's the only one I genuinely like, so I figured, it would be nice to add it to my collection. Then I found Princess of the Frog, also $2. And then Storks, which is a movie I've been debating whether or not I wanted to purchase. So when I found it for $5, I went ahead and got it. And then Sleeping Beauty I found for $10. And this is the anniversary edition. Sorry about my computer. And I've checked all the discs, so they're fine. I also have some DVDs that are not anime. I have Kim Possible the movie, Soda Drama. Only got this because it was $3. I've been trying to pick up some of my childhood cartoons that I really enjoy because some of them don't have full series box sets. Now, unfortunately, the case in this one was broken. That's probably why it was in the clearance section, because there was a copy on the shelves. I can't open this. There we go. You can't tell, but one of these little things that holds the discs on there was broken, so I hot glued it just to keep the disc stable. Also, I'll have to find another case when I go thrifting somewhere. Then I found The Three Musketeers. This is the only Mickey Mouse movie that I remember, really. That and The House of Mouse is pretty good. But I was happy to find this for $6. It was a good movie. And then I also found at a thrift store, which we also went to, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy Season 1. I did not realize The Grim Adventures didn't have a box set. That's crazy. I feel like this is the prime series you really should have a box set for. So I'm hoping that happens, since it seems Cartoon Network is slowly rolling out box sets for their series. I just got Courage. I know Dexter has one, and Powerpuff Girls has one, and then Foster's Home has one. Samurai Jack also just got one as well. So I'm hoping they eventually get to Billy and Mandy, because I would like this as a complete set. So for now, I'll just be happy with season 1. All right, that's all the non-anime. Here is the rest of it. So Lucario, I did actually purchase from the store. You can get this movie from Walmart and Target, which I actually ended up buying both. By accident. I was getting The Corpse Bride Emily, and they happened to be in my cart, and I didn't notice, so I ended up buying it twice. So now I have to return one of them at least. Target didn't ask me to return it, but Walmart did, so I have to go drop this off. But I'm returning that because I ended up finding this version, which is the version I really wanted. It's the collector's edition. It's in great condition with the exception of some scuffs in the back, which is not a big deal. But the reason I wanted this one is because it has all this cool art on the inside, and it comes with an extra film, like a little special for the anniversary. And I enjoyed this movie mainly because it had Lucario in it and the Reggie Ice. I love those Pokemon, so very happy to have this movie and add it to my collection. There's very few Pokemon movies I care about, and that was one of them. Then I found Gravitation Lyrics of Love. My friend actually told me this movie existed. I didn't know it had a movie. Or at least I didn't remember it had a movie if I did know about it. It is it dubbed? It is. Wow, I'm surprised. But yeah, to finish off my Gravitation series, because I do have, this is so old, and I did check on the inside. They actually filled it out. But that's cool. Blast from the past. But yeah, to finish off my Gravitation, because I have the series and now I have the movie. And then finally, I bought Gundam 00 the movie. I've been looking for this for a long time because when it comes to a movie, I'm just not willing to spend so much money on a movie. But this was a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, and at first I thought it was a bootleg, but this is apparently an official release that happened before they transitioned to these standard Blu-ray cases, which will make it awkward to store with the rest of my Blu-rays, but I'm happy to have it. It was in great condition. It's got both discs. And I got it for a decent price, I think $30. But yeah. Slowly completing my Gundam 00 collection. So that's everything. Thank y'all so much for watching. This is so awkward with one hand. But I'm very happy with everything that I found. Half Price Books really has some gems, and it's fun to go to different locations because each one will be different. The ones in Houston are good. Not crazy good. I was very disappointed with their thrift stores. But the last one we went to had a ton of anime, and I could tell they had an employee on staff who was a big fan of anime because those prices were outrageous. There were no deals on that shelving. I could tell that they actually researched what certain anime was going for, and they did not give any discounts. So I'm at least happy to have collected all of this. It's going to be fun organizing, putting it on my shelf. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.